Hey, welcome back to the show. I've got Dan Smith with Vail Mountain Rescue joining us in the studio. Dan, it's always a pleasure to chat with you.
Pleasure to be here.
You're always having great information talking about safety in the backcountry. Summertime, we talk about whitewater safety, and we'll be moving into that process probably in the next couple of weeks for sure.
Yeah, the river's starting to come up. If you look at some of the little islands in the center, the ends of them are starting to get a little deeper.
Yeah.
There is a danger even now that especially with kids, they start to walk into the river because they think they can walk across, and they find this nice deep hole, and then we have a problem, and they get their feet trapped because that water is still coming down, and if you get your foot inside a little rock pocket, you're not going to get it out. You're going to get real cold real fast.
Real cold real fast.
But by next week after, the water should be pretty well up.
What's the rule with hypothermia? Like, how long does it take to
depends
take
on
over?
Water temperature, but in our normal spring runoff, after 3 to 5 minutes, you can't close your hand. I mean, you close it, but there's nothing there. You can't grab anything. Trying to grab a rope is almost impossible.
The dexterity is all gone. You have no control.
And that's without a dry suit. Now, on a dry suit, which is what our folks are wearing on the water, you've got a lot more time, but you're still getting very cold. I mean, you're wearing long underwear in your dry suit, and you're hoping it doesn't leak because it's just too cold to not wear it.
What's been happening? Any missions in this past week you want to talk about?
We had two. We had, along with every other agency in the county and in other counties, we were looking for a mother and 3 children in El Jebel for about half a day. And as is often happens with these things, they popped out in a hotel room. And you know, that sounds...
They popped out, or you found them?
No, they were seen in a hotel room, and then the sheriff's deputies found them in the hotel room. But you always start with a child search, anything that involves a child. Well, this is about as bad as it's going to get. You get all the people you can, you get all the gear you can.
And you brought in a lot of manpower and a lot of air power.
Fire suppression aircraft from the Front Range that was headed for 20,000 feet with a nice sensor pod. One of the medevac choppers flew for us for an hour, and then the high altitude aviation training site had a bird there. This is, of course, about dusk, so you're losing your light, so you're trying to shove everything you can in the daylight. And you always start a child mission as it's the worst you're going to have, so you do everything. And then most times they're found someplace on the Front Range. The standard is under the laundry in the mother's bedroom closet. That's where they find them there. We don't find that here. We tend to find them in hotel rooms here. But you don't know that at the start, and you have to go like it's a search. And so we go. And then we had a young man stick his Jeep up on Shrine Pass Road on Saturday
by
late.
Himself? Just out there
by
exploring?
himself, fortunately.
Early season exploring.
Because we had to take snow machines in to get to him. The vehicles were not going to make it, and he'd proven that rather well. He'd gotten in a very nice ditch, and I believe he's still there. The Jeep is. He's out.
And he wasn't injured.
No,
he just got
nobody
stuck,
injured.
He had a hard time getting out of there.
And, you know, he's not going to sit there all night. You've got to get him out. And it's a long walk. He's right about in the middle of the road, so it's about 4 miles each way.
Yeah.
And he wasn't dressed for it. So we were busy with that. This week is training week. We're doing aviation training, hoist training down at the high altitude Army Aviation Training Site at Eagle.
Yeah.
We'll be training 150 people from other teams around the state on how to receive a litter from a helicopter, open it up, assemble it, package the patient in it, and raise it back up to the helicopter. We use this when it's necessary. That's not something you do willingly. That's about the last thing you want to do, because it's the one that people can get hurt on the quickest.
Well, we love everything you guys do. You're there for us. Vol volunteers all the time, year-round.
Well, we try, and we've got about 40 people active at any one time. Almost, well, with one exception, all way younger than me, and there's one guy older than me, which is a bit scary.
Right.
Okay. But it's all volunteer. Nobody gets paid. The people that I happen to know the people that were on the Saturday mission, and one walked away from wife and child, some sort of event. The other walked away from trying to do his taxes, and you just go.
Right.
And that's what we do.